and welcome to this episode of ChunkLocke with an E. This episode's theme seems to be simple errands turning more complicated, from visiting a ruin structure for new Pokemon to two separate Nether visits going sideways in completely different ways. This was definitely a ride. So buckle up and let's get started. Also, OBS didn't capture my voice when I was making recordings, so you're going to be listening to voice over me this entire episode. Anyway. First, I took a bit of a tour around what I did off camera. I farmed some sweet berries, added a second floor to my starter house, and lost Devin the Digger in a completely preventable accident. Whoops. Sorry, Devin. Then I started unlocking chunks to the south of me, heading towards the ruins. Unfortunately, I reached a dead end in the form of honeycomb. After a brief adventure down a very deep ravine where I got some deep slate and realized I didn't have enough torches, I went back to my base. At my base, I set up some saplings next to flowers to hopefully get a bee nest. So far, no bee nest. Then went mining, eventually extending my branch mine down to deep slate. Off camera, I did more chunk-locking, trying to get at the ruins from a different angle. This very nearly succeeded. Nearly came in the form of 26 oxeye daisies. That's a lot of bone meal. I'm not going to focus too much on this search since it mostly involves me composting things and then bone mealing grass, but it will be happening in the background. On my quest for more bone meal, I semi-on purpose let it be night to fight skeletons. I got no bones and instead made 2 creeper holes in the ground that I will clean up eventually. At that point, I decided to quit while I was behind and took a nap in that bed that I lost in the first episode. Turns out, lit up areas are easier to see when it's night. After enough bone mealing that I started getting bored again, I decided on a risky plan to get both more bones and the soul sand I wanted for a build. Go to the Nether and find a soul sand valley. So I got myself enough diamonds for a pickaxe, went on another errand to find lava for obsidian, then made my portal right next to my mine entrance. Going through the portal, I found myself in a basalt delta. From a peek I took at Chunk Base when I was deciding on whether to do this nether trip, I headed north to try to find a soul sand valley. Then I fell in a 1-block wide hole, hit the ground next to lava, and lost all my stuff. Yep. So I unrattled my nerves, got as re-geared as I could, and decided on a safer method of getting my remaining daisies. It was boring, but I got them. In the ruins, I caught another Pokemon, Beetle the Gimmighoul. Still trying to decide whether or not to try to evolve them. It's a lot of work, but the payoff is great, and Beetle isn't the most useful as they are. After that, I decided I wanted to build something to remember Devin by. I wanted to use basalt and blackstone in it, so back to the Nether I went. While I was there, I fought a Darumaka for my basalt delta catch. I caught her, but lost Shepherd and Mouse along the way. I named the Darumaka Carrick because, though she was clearly strong, that victory did not feel like much of a victory. So I gathered the rest of my resources, returned to the overworld, and built a tree. I lit the tree with 3 lanterns, 1 for each Pokemon I had lost. Goodbye, Devin, Shepherd, and Mouse. I'll miss them. And that has been an episode! I have identified and fixed the OBS issue, so barring more technical difficulties cropping up, things should be back to normal next week. See you then!